Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Beanie 101 and welcome back to my Be a GM mode for NHL 15 where we take, hopefully, the Detroit Redwings to glory. If you haven't seen the first episode of my Be a GM, be sure to check that out. We had a look at the team, we made sure that we understood who we have on our lineup and who we have in the system, and we also set our trade block where we have... At the moment, Brendan Smith, although I think that because Brendan Smith has a very good salary of just 1.2 million for an 82 overall player, he's kind of someone that I want to stick around. He's only 25, and so he could get a little bit better. So I'm actually going to remove Brendan Smith from my trade block, and instead we are going to add somebody else, so hopefully we can get some trades in, and we are going to go for Anderson or Pulkkinen. I think I'm going to go for just someone with some value. This Pulkkinen dude is 22, he's a top 9 forward, he's probably not going to make anything on our team, he's never really going to cut the mustard, so let's see if we can get some value for him. But I have worked out one trade that we can do right away, and it involves someone else who is on our trade block, and this is Stephen Weiss. So, who am I going to go across to? I believe it is the New Jersey Devils. Now, I want to get a little bit younger at centre because I'm conscious that Datsuk and Zetterberg aren't going to stick around for too many more years. So Adam Henrique is the guy that I want to go for. He's still a second-line forward. He has the potential to be top 6. He's 85 overall to Weiss's 84 overall. And looking at that contract, he's got 5 years remaining at $4 million a year. So, from a cap perspective, from a stats perspective, from an ability perspective, then Henrique looks like he ticks a lot of boxes. He does have slightly more trade value, but we're going to see if we can put together a package that the New Jersey Devils will accept. So, first up, we're going to add another player that actually matches their block. So what sort of players do they want? Someone with minimal value. So probably someone like Joachim Anderson, 25 years old, 80 overall, decent enough player, but is probably only ever going to be a bottom 6 player for us. So I think Anderson is going to be the guy that we trade away. He's not got anything spectacular for any of his stats, and that helps out the value somewhat, but they're not wanting to let go of Henrique, so we might need to add a little bit of something else just to sweeten the deal. Let's see what sort of draft picks that we've got. We have our first round pick. We've got Dallas's third round pick. Next year we have 2/3. We actually have New Jersey's third, but that has a little bit more value than ours, so perhaps we give them our third rounder next year. I think that should be more than enough, so let's see if this goes through. Yes, it does. The New Jersey Devils accept our offer. So we've got a little bit younger with that trade, and hopefully that will stand us in good stead in the future. Henrique looks like he's going to be a decent second-line centre for many, many years to come. 85 overall. He's going to be solid on that second line. So, at the moment, our lines are looking Zetterberg, Datsuk, Nyquist. We have Thomas Tatar, Henrique, and Franson as our second line. So, let's just sort out who we want playing on the power play. I think we have everyone that I want to be included. Perhaps swap Nyquist for Franson. Cronwall, Vidsidlicki, Smith. I think that might be okay. Who else do we want? See now. Riley Sheehan is somebody that I noticed in the comments last time round. I'm just going to swap these guys around to their offside wing so that they have slightly better shooting lanes. If they play on their offside wing on the power play. You can set them up for one-timers a little better. So just going to swap those two guys around. But yes, Riley Sheehan is someone who I want to try and work into my lineup a little more. He is one of our very, very good prospects on this Detroit team. So playing on the fourth line probably isn't going to make the most of his abilities. So we're going to scroll across. We're going to see what sort of player that we can have in. No, Clendenning? No. So who's got the best defensive qualities? Just making sure that we have the best players out on our PK. Is there anyone else that I can swap with? I think that in terms of defensive awareness, it's put on the players that I would expect to. Maybe add Abdelkader on the PK. Just to give Zetterberg a bit of a rest. Datsuk has got elite defensive skills, so I think I want to keep Datsuk on there. But Abdelkader will get a little bit more ice time. Good defensive awareness. Nice physical player. Decent skating as well. So I think he will complement Datsuk quite nicely on that first line PK. So what are we going to do now? Now we are going to head on into the simulation, and we're going to start the first month of the season. So let's have a look at our calendar and see what sort of teams we're going to be up against. And we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games. Let's simulate towards the beginning of the season, make sure that the cap comes into play, and we have to get our roster in order. Yes, we're compliant with the cap. We've got no problems there. And now waivers are active. No problem there either. I think we have our team set up as we would like, and we've got the first game of the new season against the Boston Bruins. Let's see if we can get to a good start. So I'm going to simulate all the way up to the Pittsburgh Penguins game. Just over midway through the month of October. We start off with a 6-5 win, which is an excellent start. We're then up against the Ducks. What have we got? We have, a 6-4 loss. Lots of goals going in. Lots of goals. Next up is the Boston Bruins again. Come on, be good for me. We pick up a second win against Boston. Now we've got a back-to-back against the Maple Leafs. We've got to post up some good numbers. And we get a shootout loss and an overtime loss. The overtime loss looked like it was a great game. 5-4 to Toronto. Daniel Cleary looks like he's come back from injury. I don't think I need to play around with my lines too much here. I'm going to leave Cleary out. Let's play Montreal. And we have another loss, which puts our record at 2-2-2 in the opening 6 games of the season. So we're going to move on to what I think is the game of the month of October, and that's against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby is coming to town, as is Yevgeny Malkin, Marc-Andre Fleury, and the rest of the Penguins team. So we move over to Detroit, Michigan, and we're at the Joe Louis Arena. Doc and Eddie welcome us.
And it is Red Wings hockey here in front of thrilled fans from both Southern Michigan and Western Ontario. The fans of the Detroit Red Wings in an atmosphere that's second to none.
Always enjoyed playing here in Detroit against one of the original 6 teams, Doc. When you look over the years and the history of Detroit Red Wings, you could argue one of the best franchises with some of the greatest players that ever played in the greatest league, that the National Hockey League.
So here we go. Let's have a look at the starting goaltenders. Jimmy Howard has had a bit of a rough start to the NHL season. He's 1-2-1 with a fairly large goal against average of 3.12 and a pretty low save percentage of .886. So not a good save percentage there. In the other nets, we've got Marc-Andre Fleury, who's also having a tough start, a 1-3-1 start to the season, 3.2 goals against average, a slightly healthier save percentage of bang on 90%, but I think most Pittsburgh fans would agree that that's probably not good enough from the former first overall pick. So we move early into the first period, and we have the Penguins bearing down on goal. Crosby is dispossessed. Nyquist takes the puck up the ice. He plays it to Zetterberg, who does a nice little deke, plays it onto Datsyuk, who gets the Detroit Red Wings season off in great style. 1-0 to Detroit, 4 minutes into the first period. Patrick Hornqvist looks away in disgust. We have Zetterberg and Nyquist with the assist. A nice little move by Zetterberg there, and Datsyuk snipes it over Marc-Andre Fleury's glove side shoulder. No chance. No mistake from Datsyuk. And our Detroit Red Wings team takes a 1-0 lead. Later on in the first, we have Darren Helm moving the puck up the ice. Abdelkader skates down the wing. He cuts back. He plays it to Eriksson, who sees a lot of traffic in front. So he throws a wrister past Marc-Andre Fleury. And just like that, Detroit are 2-0 up. We're going to take another look at that. Abdelkader and Helm with the assists on the Jonathan Eriksson goal. We can see it again there. There's plenty of traffic in front of Marc-Andre Fleury, and he can't quite see the puck. Great screen, great goal, great start to the game. So can Pittsburgh fight back? Off the resulting face-off, Detroit win it and play it across the ice. They try to get the puck deep, but Lapierre wins it back. Blake Como skates into the zone, cuts back. He's allowed free rein in the slot, and straight away lets loose a slap shot. And the 2-goal lead does not last very long at all. Como with the assists from Cole and Laperriere. You hear Doc and Eddie with the commentary on the goal there, saying that Jimmy Howard went down into butterfly a little too early on that shot, which gave Como a good old look at the top shelf. Towards the end of the first period, we have Perron, who plays the puck onto Crosby in the neutral zone. Crosby cuts back, plays it to Cole, who plays it to Scuderi, and the puck comes free. Crosby with another play, and a great shot there. Hornqvist wins the puck again, and Miller finally is able to play the puck away. Jerko skates in, throws the puck on net, and Fleury manages to make the save. Detroit weathering a little bit of a storm there. Crosby on the ice, but someone takes exception to something, and we've got a fight that's broken out. It's Brendan Smith and Chris Kunitz throwing the bombs. We see them get into a little bit of a scrap. The rest of the players are standing there watching in admiration of these two guys slugging it out. Kunitz and Smith managing to come to a conclusion. Smith manages to wrap up Kunitz and drag him to the ice, and the players get carted off to the penalty box. Smith raises his hand in victory, and he's not going to take a face wash there. No messing around. Smith standing up for himself, taking Kunitz down to the ground. And with just a few seconds left in the first period, we have coincidental 5-minute majors for fighting. That was the last bit of action of the first period. We take another look at the highlights. Another great look at Datsyuk's goal over Fleury's shoulder. A couple of more saves there from Fleury. Letang throwing the puck on net, and Howard managing to get the save. But we have a slim lead at the end of the first. Detroit 2-1 up. We now go early into the second period. Detroit win the face-off in the Pittsburgh zone, but they are dispossessed. And we see Pittsburgh skating up the ice. They try to play the puck across, but manage to get the puck behind the net. It gets played out to None other than Yevgeny Malkin, and you can't give him the time and space in prime scoring position there. Makes no mistake, Nick Spaulding with the assist. Plays it behind the net. Plays the puck out in front. Malkin makes no mistake. First time. Howard will be a little bit disappointed. Malkin didn't quite find the corner there. It looked like that Howard got a little bit of a piece of that before it went in. And just like that, we have a tied game. Yet again, in the second period, just a few minutes later, we have another face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. It gets played behind the boards. Miller with the shot. Jerko with the shot. And Pittsburgh managed to get the puck clear. Perron takes the puck up the ice. He makes a little move to get round. Letang to Hornqvist. Hornqvist in a great location there. Good vision by Letang to play the puck down low. And Hornqvist makes no mistake. Perron and Letang with the assist. Perron doing the hard work, skating the puck into the zone and then cutting across the blue line. Plays the puck over to Letang, who feeds Hornqvist in a lovely position to shoot the puck over Jimmy Howard's glove. And Pittsburgh have the lead for the first time in the hockey game. Just a couple of minutes later, Pittsburgh are on the attack again. This time, Spaulding gets the puck at the high slot, plays a slap shot right on net. Jimmy Howard has got to be so disappointed with that. Fleury, with no doubt his first assist of the campaign. There's plenty of time for Jimmy Howard to see that shot. It's a wide open look. He doesn't quite get the blocker across. He's going to be disappointed with that one. And Pittsburgh extend their lead, and they've come out firing on all cylinders at the beginning of the second period. That is indeed all that there was to write about the second period. We see a look at some more of the highlights there. Another great look at that Malkin goal. There's Pittsburgh fans that are going crazy in the crowd as a result of that lead. And then a beautiful feed by Letang to Patrick Hornqvist to double that lead. It's a 4-2 game. There we go. 4-2 Pittsburgh. 3 goals in that second period to break the hearts of the Detroit Red Wings. And we're now midway into the third, and the commentary team decide to have a look at the Detroit Red Wings and say, you know what? They've not put the puck on net anywhere near as much as they should have done. They've been far and away off the pace when it comes to getting shots on net. And you can see the little stat there, 6 minutes left in the third, that Pittsburgh have their 7th shot on net to Detroit's 0 in that third period. So they really haven't been able to adjust to the Pittsburgh Penguins coming strong in that second period. The Penguins have shut up shop, and just like that, they add an extra goal to their tally. This time it's Steve Downey who plays the puck from behind the net. Jimmy Howard moves across ever so slightly, but that opens the 5-hole. Downey makes no mistake. And we have, in the final minute, another face-off in the Detroit zone. Malkin wins it. He plays it back to Paul Martin, who scores a 6th. This is a humiliation at the Joe Louis Arena. It started so well. A 2-0 lead for Detroit has crumbled, and the Pittsburgh Penguins have absolutely piled on the pressure. The water bottle goes flying. Jimmy Howard shaking his head in shame. Right at the end of the game, the Penguins extend their lead 6-2. That was how the game finished. So in terms of our game of the month, it's disappointment for this Detroit team, and they drop yet another game. So their record does not improve, and they're now 2-3-2 for the start of the season. We take a look at the final highlights of the game. That Pittsburgh fan in the crowd is winding up the rest of the Detroit fans in the Joe Louis Arena. They're disgusted. and we move back to our simulation. We have a couple more games left in October, and then what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the stats for the opening month of the season and see how our team is stacking up against the rest of the NHL. So let's see how we do against Philly, how we do against the Caps, and how we do against the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the LA Kings. So we drop another game to the Flyers, 5-2. We're letting in a ton of goals to open the season. Can we tighten things up against the Washington Capitals and end the month of October on a little bit of a high? We have our scouts talking about the draft class, saying that it's going to be decent. We have Zidlicki, one of our D-men, that is going to be injured with a concussion, so he's going to be out for a few games. We need to make some adjustments here and see who we can bring in to our starting lineup to replace Zidlicki. He was filling out our third defensive partnership, so we're going to take a look who we have scratched and who we can bring in. So let's have a look. No, I'm using the wrong triggers and bumpers to get this thing going. Let's move across to our scratch players. So we have Cleary, DeKaiser. He looks like the guy that we're going to bring in. No, I've brought him in the wrong position. I've brought him in for Kyle Quincy instead of the unfilled line. So let's try that again, shall we? Let's move across to our scratched roster and make sure that we've got Kyle Quincy dressed. Bring him in. And let's play around with our lines. DeKaiser can be on our third line with Brendan Smith. So we've got Cronwall, Eriksson, Quincy, Kindle, and then Smith and DeKaiser. DeKaiser? I think it's DeKaiser. Detroit fans no doubt are going to crucify me in the comments about my pronunciation, but please correct me if I'm calling these players out incorrectly. So let's fill the rest of these lines up. I think we want to stick probably Smith up there on our power play, and we might want to remove him from that second line power play, or do we just want to bring somebody else in? Maybe we want to bring in Kyle Quincy into our first line power play. Or maybe Eriksson. I think Quincy has the better offensive stats, so he's probably the better guy to bring in. So let's change him in our current line. And we still have errors. Where else do we have errors? Still on special teams. So on the PK, no, on the four-man power play. So same thing again. We're going to bring in Kyle Quincy. And I think what I'm going to do is any of these sort of small line changes that we make throughout the course of the season, I'm either going to whiz through these or cut them out completely. So we're just going to look at this the one time, and then we're going to move on. So last change, Quincy comes into our PK, and our lines are good to go. Extra attackers are fine. Shootouts is fine. So we have one more game to round out October. We have a 2-4-3 record. So it's a terrible start for the Detroit Red Wings. Let's see if we can end on a high and beat the LA Kings. No, we dropped that one 5-2 as well. So the month of October has not proved fruitful. We're going to move across to the stats and see just how we are doing. And we have a look at our goals for, and we're towards the bottom of that list. What's that? Around about 21st overall for goals for. Only 25 goals that we've put past the opposition goaltenders. And looking at the goals for per game, Yeah, we're towards the bottom of the NHL there. Looks like 24th overall in goals for per game. And then goals against, we've been shedding a load of goals. We're towards the bottom of the NHL. Only the Coyotes and the Islanders have let in more than our Detroit Red Wings team. So we need to do something about our defence. Is it our third or fourth line? Is it our PK? I don't know. We've got some good defensive players on our top two lines. Let's have a look at our offensive numbers. We've got Henrik Zetterberg heading up the team with 9 points, 9 assists, all helpers so far. And we've got top goal scorer as Gustav Nyquist, and we've got Johan Franzen with 4 goals as well. We've maybe got a little bit of a disappointment on our second line, our new signing. Adam Henrique, who we traded away for Steven Weiss, is not doing quite so well. And if we have a look at the NHL overall, it is currently headed up by Anze Kopitar, who has 17 points in 11 games. And we've got Nathan McKinnon, 19-year-old, doing pretty well to start his season. Who's our top goal scorers? We've got Daniel Sedin and Kopitar, Steen Pollat and Patrick Kane heading up the NHL with 7 or 8 goals. On the assists category, what do we have? We have Victor Hedman, really? 12 assists in 11 games? That's a lot of assists for a D-man. I'm guessing he's been feeding Palat and Stamkos, who are towards the top of the charts in the scoring overall as well. So some interesting numbers there. So let me know what you feel that I should do to try and shore up my defense. Are there any changes that you would make? Otherwise, make sure to like the video if you want to see some more GM. Subscribe, leave a comment. All of your support is really, really welcome. And I'll catch you again next time for some more Be a GM mode in NHL 15.